Welcome, students. Uh, the second question type we are going to learn is read aloud. Now, read aloud is a long answer speaking item type. It tests your ability to read a short text aloud using correct pronunciations and intonations. It assesses both speaking and reading skills, right? So in this section, you are given a text on screen. You get 40 seconds to read the text through and understand the content before the time starts. You then have another 40 seconds to read aloud as naturally and clearly as possible. You can expect around 7 questions. Each text will usually be a single paragraph between 50 to 60 words, 65 words or 60 words. Okay. Now, to go more into detail of this is understandable what read aloud means. Okay, how you're scored. So, the criteria remains the same, that you get scored on basically three of the factors. One is content, another is pronunciation, and then oral fluency, which I've already explained in my lesson before, wherein I was teaching you repeat sentences, that your content is each replacement, omission, or insertion of a word counts as one error. Maximum score depends on the length of the item prompt. Okay. Content is scored by counting the number of correct words in your response. Okay. No replacements, no insertions, and no omissions basically. Then we go on to pronunciation, which is scored by determining if your speech is easily understandable to most regular speakers of the language. Again, it's on a basically on a scale from 5 to 0. So 5 being native and then 0 being non-English or non-native. Then you get scored 4, 3, 2, 1 for advanced, good, intermediate, and intrusive. Then is oral fluency, which is scored by determining if your rhythm, phrasing, and stress are smooth. The best responses are spoken at a constant and a natural rate of speech with appropriate phrasing. Then again, it's been monitored from a scale of 5 to 0. 5 being native, 0 being disfluent or non-fluent at all. So then you get 4, 3, 2, 1, which is advanced, good, intermediate, and limited. Okay. Now, if we go into the strategy, uh, yeah, just before going to the strategy, I would say partial credit scoring applies to read aloud as well. No credit is given for no response or an irrelevant response. Well, that's a very fair enough rule. If you don't speak, you don't get marked, right? Okay, so going into strategies, the official PTE sample test recordings of the answers can be completed between 23 to 28 seconds. As a guidelines, it is a good time frame to keep in mind. Don't be too fast or too slow. Oral fluency and pronunciation should be the area of concern. So the only thing I need to explain in here is that oral fluency and pronunciation is something you really need to focus on. That's the main focus. Okay. You may say and understand what you said, but the computer should also understand what you say. You can mumble all according to all to you for you to understand. That's fine. But here somebody is judging us, and that somebody is the computer. Now your computer should understand what you're trying to say. Tone should be appropriate for the message conveyed in the text. Okay, so you should watch your tone, the way you want to speak. Don't be too loud, too fast, or too slow. Skim through the text before you speak and make sure you read the text and understand. So what is more important is that you read the text and you understand the text as well. Okay, you have between 30 to 40 seconds to do this. Now focus on the content of the text. Some features of speech such as phrasing, intonations conveys overall meaning. You can only deliver them correctly if you understand what you are reading. Briefly rehearse any unknown words, following normal spellings and pronunciations. Speak when you hear the tone. Sit up straight, take a deep breath. This will help you speak clearly. Okay? The only thing is that you need to speak clearly and at a normal pace. Don't copy the accent. I have repeated that several times. I will still repeat that again and again in my future videos as well. that please don't copy the accent. You need to be very normal. Okay. Speak at a normal volume. And again, I've already said you should be audible enough. If you speak too softly, it may be difficult to score your response. Use the punctuations such as commas, semicolons, and periods or a full stop as a guide for pauses and sentence stress. Okay. Pay attention at the words which you find difficult to pronounce. Repeat the words in your mind or speak aloud as how you would pronounce any such word. Few more tips. Another important aspect is to use appropriate pauses. I've already explained that. Full stops, well, I'll explain that again. Full stops would basically have a longer pause as compared to commas, which has a shorter pause. Quotation marks. Well, the only thing I would say when we talk about quotations is that please do not speak the quotation marks at all. Quotation marks are marked in a sentence are basically to encapsulate the word. So make sure you stress on such words. The words which are in the quotes or in the quotations normally need to stress more and modulate your voice for them. Make an attempt at unknown words and then move on. Now, most important point I would say, do not go back to correct yourself or hesitate. If you make a mistake, continue reading. The microphone will close after 3 seconds of silence. So, remember I told you about a 3-second rule. If you remain silent for more than 3 seconds, the recording will stop. You will not be able to re-record. Well, you'll hear that so few more times now. Well, in future videos also, I'll keep repeating that. Give a single response demonstrating your best ability. You will not be able to re-record your response. Well, go on to the next item if you finish speaking before the recording progress indicator reaches the end. Okay. And then I would say that, while speaking, link the phrases and do not emphasize grammar words such as prepositions or articles. This will help achieve native-like rhythm and phrasing and sound more fluent. Important note, this is not a difficult section and one can use this opportunity to gain more score in speaking. Well, it's very relatively easier provided the above factors are considered and practiced at the same time. Okay, so you need to practice. Remember, they're giving you 40 seconds before to prepare as well. Okay, now this is a sample question which has been written in front of you. This is exactly the way it's going to come right in front of you and you need to speak it properly. Now, if you notice, there are punctuation marks as well, wherein again full stops are longer pauses, commas are shorter pauses, right? So we would read it. Being physically active benefits people's health significantly, including reducing the risk of some chronic conditions, helping to control weight, and improving mental health. In recent decades, there has been a decline in physical activity because more people work in offices rather than in manual jobs. Right. This is the exact way how you're going to speak. You can actually add more stresses to it according to your convenience. And then to work out the pronunciations, you can break the word and try pronouncing it in your mind or in your head before so that you can speak properly or pronounce properly. This is the end of this question type. Now, if you have any questions, I would repeat that again. If you have any questions, please email us or comment below and we will revert you. Scroll down for the practice link. All the best and I will see you next class.